Hello and welcome to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes or Less Ship Review, I'm going to be taking a look at the multi-purpose freighter or gunship from RSI, the Constellation Andromeda. Let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with the exterior of the Roberts Space Industries Andromeda, this multi-purpose freighter is just amazing. It has a lot of functionality to it in the way of like what you can do for jobs and everything. It's just a great ship at its price point. Now, I'm going to start right there. It's got a price point of $240 if you were to buy it with real money and you want to add this to your hangar. And then outside of that, you can buy it in game currently in 3.22 for $3,548,000 or UEC. That's going to change. 3.23 is going to have an increase on the amount of UEC ships are going to cost. This obviously will go up in price. It's not going to go down in price. Why would it? There's just way too much you can do with this ship. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about first the design of the ship. This is one of your originals for the RSI design lineup. And what that means is you're not going to see this design etiquette probably ever again on a Roberts Space Industries ship. Because the new ships coming out in RSI, like the Zeus, the Galaxy, the Perseus, among others, are now taking a Dorito form, and they have this really, really sleek look to them, and they just look amazing. Let me know down in the comments below which RSI ship you're looking forward to. Do you like the new design language? Because I think it just looks phenomenal. But that's not to say this ship looks bad, because this ship still looks amazing. And a lot of its design choices actually have, purpose to them. Like right here, you do have VTOL thrusters, which you can see on screen, them opening and closing, which they're also on the engine pylon over there. Now, these pylons, once Maelstrom comes in, might be kind of a risk because this is your only landing gear. So once you lose these pylons, you'll lose your landing gear. You'll probably be landing this thing on your belly a lot if you're going to be landing on the ground. But that's probably a long way out. Now, I'm going to start with the stats of this ship with the health and the shields. This ship has a phenomenal health count now. It used to be a lot worse. It's been kind of back and forth with the Constellation series. It was at one point terrible, one point not, the other point terrible, now it's not. But I'm sure through balancing, it's just going to go back and forth like a lot of ships do. You have 184,344 health points, and then you have one size 3 shield that gives you 100,000 shield. Now, that shield is a quadrant shield, so be wary of that. It means that you only have 25,000 per face, left, right, back, forward. So when you're going into combat, make sure you don't just keep one shield face facing where you're getting shot at, because you're probably going to lose that shield face rather quick and start taking damage. Always be wary of that. Now, this ship has a phenomenal weapons package for the pilot. You do have 4 size 4 gimbaled CF447 Rhinos, which are on the top of each pylon or the bottom of these pylons, and these weapons are huge. And I'm going to tell you right now, they have 141 capacitor. That is insane. It puts out a stock DPS of 1,570. And that is just super impressive, given the fact that most ships that are over 1,000 DPS have ballistics to thank for that, even though they have a limited amount of ammo. So, already starting off amazing. Outside of that, pilot controlled, you have 24 size 2 Strike Force missiles and 28 size 1 Marksman 1 missiles. So not only do you have guns for days, you have missiles for days. Now, this is a 3 to 4 crew ship, and you do have 2 turrets. Both turrets have 2 guns on them. They are the CF227 Badgers, one on the bottom, which opens up through here, and one on the top, which opens up, of course, on the top. And we'll take a look at the interior in just a moment to show you where those come from. Now, if you move to the back of the ship, this is what puts this ship above others like the Corsair or the MSR. is the fact that you do have a snub fighter attached to this thing. And you're like, well, how do you access it? Well, you access it from the inside, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. But this is the P52 Merlin, and it's an amazing little vessel for what it is. Obviously, it doesn't have a quantum drive, and it's very fast, it's very hard to hit, and you could do some real damage with this thing. So it's amazing to have this. I am super impressed that this ship has it, because really, it's the only ship in Star Citizen to have a snub ship attached to it at the current point that you could fly. It's been hit and miss lately whether this works, whether you can dock it or whether you can't dock it, but when it does work, whoo, amazing. Now you do have 2 ground access points, obviously the first one which is already down over there, and then you have one over here, the cargo bay. This cargo bay gives you 96 SCU of cargo space, which is absolutely amazing. And this is where it would sit, is right on top of the ramp. Or you can hold a ground vehicle. You can't hold a ballista chassis, or you can't hold a Tonk or a Storm, but you can hold pretty much anything else, or multiple of different vehicles. So that is just amazing, and I love that you can do that. And it's got a good position too. I feel like it gives you cover, right? You're pulling a ground vehicle out. You're protected by your ship and your ship's shield, instead of just, pulling out the back door or front door. This gives you a little bit more protection, which is really nice. I'm going to go ahead and close this cargo bay and head inside. I will say, for all the positives this thing does have, you're going to start to see a little bit of negatives here and there. I'll start with the max speed of 911. And that's a really slow max speed, as well as the maneuverability is just abysmal. It moves like the whale that it is. It is quite the big ship, and it moves like that for sure. Now this is your living quarters. As you can see, you do have a really uncomfortable bench over here, as well as a table that no longer works. This ship needs a gold standard pass, and it definitely needs it soon. The living quarters could probably use a rework on how it's designed. You do have the bathroom here, and you have some graphical glitches in this ship currently, so expect that. This bathroom looks like something you can eject out the side of the ship, honestly, and that'd be a fun little prank to play on a crewmate, but yeah, I wouldn't do that. You have some storage here as well, and then you have 4 crew beds with more graphical glitches underneath. You have the void, and these beds will be escape pods, I'm sure of it. They look like they close up and eject somehow. Not sure how yet, but we'll figure that out. Let's continue to the cockpit first, where they took some design choices from Drake, putting a wire across the ground here. Whoever did that needs to be fired. Absolutely. Not like from CIG. No. I just mean like whoever in RSI did that. Like, you have this beautiful under grate surface here that you could just run that wire through, yet you did it here. Yeah, not understanding. It's a tripping hazard and doesn't look too great in an RSI vessel. Otherwise, you just got a lot of wasted space here. There's no consoles or anything. You're probably going to have some of your components housed here, or like here where it says shield gen, which that doesn't make sense. A size 3 shield is definitely not going to fit in here, but we'll get there. Here is 2 of your turret access points, the only access points for your turrets. Again, they're both manned, 1 top, 1 bottom. And then here is the 3 seats. You have the pilot and 2 co-pilots. Honestly, it's a 3 to 4 crew ship. I don't get the point of the co-pilot seats. I'd rather just have some jump seats or something, because you're going to be in the pilot seat, and when you're in combat, the 2 seats are going to be empty beside you because they're going to be in the guns. And then the 4th person is going to be in the Merlin, probably assisting you in attacking the target. But again, it's just some design choices that probably need to be changed to allow maybe a little bit more space or different. Oh yeah, Strut City, by the way. I mean, you're inside of a Star Wars Empire ship at this point. Look at all these struts. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves all these beams in the way when you're flying, right? It's fantastic. Nothing better. So, yeah, there's that. Let's move to the cargo bay really quick. Try not to go over 10 minutes too much, but this is where your access to your components are going to mostly be on the side walls over here. And then you also have your missiles, which are housed here. I don't know how you're ever going to replace these missiles. I don't know how you get access to them. Again, more design choices. They're going to have to be reworked. And then you also have 2 airlocks, one on each side, one here. as well as one on the other side. They're very dangerous airlocks because they open automatically without verifying that you're, depressurized in the cargo room. So, again, just not safe. Moving back here, in comparison to the Taurus has a bigger cargo area, and this area is a shielded cargo room, but not in this one. You're going to have more access to your components, which you can't access yet, and then you have your access to the P52 Merlin, which you can just get in here and take off and go. So, pretty cool. Again, a lot of empty room. It's definitely an industrial feeling ship. You are a multi-purpose freighter, and it feels like it. There's nothing homey about this ship, so you walk in here and you're not going to be like, wow, this really reminds me of home. I hope not, at least. Maybe it does. If you spent a career doing something industrial, then this might just be the place for you. Moving back into the cockpit, there is really not too much else to go over. I mean, this ship it flies like a dog, and it's slow, but it's got amazing weapons. It's got amazing potential, good amount of cargo, a snub fighter, a great price point because you're still cheaper than an MSR or a Corsair. And so with that, I mean, what is there to lose? You have 48 decoys and 5 noise, and again, the Rhinos, 141 capacitor. That is fantastic. And then you have MFDs for days. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you also have your master alert system above the MFD here. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and take off and put the landing gear up, which does push those pylons back a little bit, and get out of here. Overall, I'm going to rate this ship a 9 out of 10 just due to the fact that it does have so much going for it. A fantastic health pool, a great amount of shields, a fantastic amount of pilot-controlled weapons, good cargo, a snub fighter, but the, only negative is the maneuverability and its speed. So that's why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, but you could pretty much give this a 10 out of 10, honestly. It's a great ship. It really is. I would definitely take this personally. I know a lot of people love the Corsair, and there is a strange fan base over the Crusader Mercury Star Runner, even with all its flaws. But I would pick this one, honestly, over both of those. I just feel like you have a lot more going for it. Let me know what you think of this ship down below in the comments. I'd really like to know, would you choose a Constellation over an MSR or Corsair or something else in its class? What RSI ship in the future are you most excited for? Let me know. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.